Loves, it's Chelsea Vlogs. I'm back again, and today I want to talk about one of my videos. It's titled The Breakup Catalyst. If you haven't seen it, go watch it if you've gone through a breakup or if you're going through the healing process, or just because if you want to be nosy. The reason I even decided to watch it is because I'm at a point where I'm releasing so many things that no longer serve me. And this video, for some reason, I was looking at my like watched videos, like, because I'm trying to see how many views I get. And that video, one person watched it recently. And so I was listening to some songs, right? Because I like music a lot, and of course, I was just vibing with this song talking about, what life would be like after you. And it just brought me back into that memory of, who I used to be back then and how I used to feel, and just the video in general, because it holds memories. It does, and I'm not going to get rid of it. That's part of my journey. That's part of my most difficult journeys, honestly. So I'm not going to delete that. But I wanted to talk about it. So first of all, first and foremost, the videos that I put inside that, the clips, I would say, better to say, the clips I put in that video are definitely the ones that felt the most connected to me that I wanted to share. Because a lot of the things that I said in these clips, I said 1,000 times over in so many other videos, because like I said, I made a lot of them. But those specific clips I felt connected to, because not only could you see when I was a complete mess, but you could see when I was trying to figure myself out, and when I was feeling closer, to figuring myself out. And I did end the video basically saying, this person was forever going to feel like my home, my best friend. And I'm not going to lie to you, I still hold that to be true. I still hold that to be true, in the extent of, like, the version of who I was will always hold him, will always hold that person as my home, as my safe space, as my best friend. But that doesn't mean that this version of me now holds space like that. The version of me now holds me as my home, holds me as my safe space, holds me as my best friend. If you understand what I'm saying, like, I cannot remove that under any circumstance. Even if I could go back in time, I would not change it. I would choose to be with that person. I would choose for the relationship to end the way it did, because it taught me so much, not only to be in that relationship, but for the relationship to end the way it did. It brought me to not only my breaking point, but it brought me to opening up wounds that I had never touched in years, wounds that I didn't even know existed inside myself. So, and I did want to say that, what I didn't say in that video was that when I filmed it, yes, I wasn't ready to let go. But what I meant that I wasn't ready to let go was what the attachment of loving this person so much. It wasn't so much the memories, it was the attachment, the love I had to this person. And if I'm going to be honest with you, everything is a journey. Every healing thing is a journey, and there's an ending and then there's a new beginning of healing, right? And so I ended that phase of my life where I had to work on myself. And that's where I ended it. I ended it where I had stopped working on myself. And now the new journey was letting go of him, of letting go of that person that I had loved so badly. And so that was my next journey. And I didn't record anything after that. Not to post. I did here and there record myself talking, but it wasn't the same, and I just didn't feel like sharing it. It was a lot of processing, you know, a lot of different things, a lot of different epiphanies, um, the way that my mind had shifted, even having a crush on somebody new. Yeah, so yeah, it was just a lot more random. But after that video, I took a really, really left turn, I guess you would say, into my path um of healing, where it went from healing self to healing the damage that that relationship had caused me, because it did cause me damage, you know, of course it did. Um, and if I could share a little bit of that, some of that damage that it caused me was, you know, being abandoned, you know, and I mean, of course, I had already had an abandonment wound, but it lit that abandonment wound. And betrayal. I had been betrayed before, but it relit that betrayal wound. So these are the things that I had to reprocess within myself after that video, and a lot of other things. But and so after that video is when I started to get angry with this person, because it just felt incredibly disrespectful, unbelievable, just so many emotions. I don't even want to get into that because I don't feel that way anymore. And even though I always felt love and love and respect for him, honestly, love and respect for him, I knew that he had disrespected me. I knew that he had hurt me consciously, knowing he wanted to do it, you know? And so that was the part of the healing that was, I guess, the hardest. And if I'm being honest, like, up until 2025, which was, I mean, not that long ago, I was avoiding a lot of parts of healing. You know, I was not attached to him anymore, but I was avoiding thinking of him so much. And when I would think of him, or when something reminded me of him, I immediately went to shut it down, or saying F you, I don't want to think about that, you know, because I was at a point in my journey where I was so focused on just living my life, being free, feeling great, that I didn't want to ruin it, sour it with some thoughts that just, I was like, that's done with. Like, I don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Again, still being grateful for the journey and still loving him from far, you know, but just, I didn't want to touch that subject, you know? And in 2025, I had this whole long journey with myself, just being alone with myself, my thoughts, and my feelings, where I was able to slowly, I'm gonna be real honest, slowly process them. And I've gotten to a point now where I can think of this person and I'll still love this person from far away. And I could talk to this person with no problem. Do you know what I'm saying? But I am completely ready for the first time in a long time to start a new relationship without having to hold on to anything. Because you know how some people, they'll hold on to things from past relationships and they just move on quick, or they don't even realize they're holding on to something. No. Like I am a blank slate in relationships, not only with self but in relationships, you know? And so I'm very proud of that. And just, I wanted to talk about that because I've grown so much and I'm proud of myself, and I'm so sorry for that version of myself, and I hold so much grace and so much love for myself for that time, because I remember like, the way that I could describe to you, and I've described it before, the way I used to feel back then was horrible. I couldn't breathe. I'm not joking. I could not breathe. And I would scream into my pillow, into a blanket, into a towel, into clothing, anything I could, and it just wasn't enough. And I would cry and cry, and it wasn't enough. And I had so much insomnia, and I'm an insomniac. Like, I have it occasionally within my life. And during this time, I could not sleep. I would walk outside in the danger at 2-3 in the morning because I couldn't sleep. Sometimes I would only sleep 1 hour in the night. And I'm talking about months of that, you know? And so, yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of that. And I wanted to say that, you know, I'm proud of myself for my growth. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I love myself, which, if I'm being really honest, when I was with him, when I was not with him, I knew that I had a lack of self-love. I knew I had so much that I needed to work on. So I am beyond grateful for my journey, for his existence in my life, and for him exiting my life. And I'm proud and I'm happy that I decided to work on myself and love myself and change my life. So that's all. Yeah. And I hope that if you're in this journey, you remember you're not alone. And I promise you, I can guarantee it. If you put in the work, if you give yourself grace, you will make it out. There is always going to be a light. You just have to follow that light blindly. Believe in it blindly. Even if you can't see a way out, even if you're drowning, you just have to keep swimming, okay? Much love, much light, and much healing. I love you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. Mwah.